Assalamu alaikum, welcome to my channel. So in this video we will discuss the background of English literature, and for the background we have to study the ages and the periods of English literature. So we will discuss the development of this kind of literature, because English literature is one of the richest literature of the world, because it has vitality, it has a rich variety and continuity. So as literature is a reflection of a society, the changes which come about in English society from the old English period to the modern time, so they have left their stamp on English literature. So if we appreciate properly, if we want to appreciate properly the English literature, so we must have the knowledge of English social and political history of that time in which it was created. For example, we cannot just estimate the work of Chaucer without taking into account the characteristics of the period in which he was living. Or we cannot appreciate the work of William Shakespeare without taking proper notice of the great events which were taking place during the reign of Elizabeth. So the same is in the case of each and every great figure and important movements in English literature. So when we study the history of English literature from the earliest to the modern time, we find that it has passed through different phases, each having different characteristics. These phases are termed as ages or period. So some of the periods are named after the prominent figures of that time, like age of Chaucer, age of Milton, age of Pope, age of Dryden. And some are given name after the queen or the king who was ruling at that time: the Elizabethan age, the Jacobean age, the age of Queen Anne, Victorian age. These are named after the kings and queens of that age. Some are the literary movements. Some ages are after the names of literary movements, like classical age and the romantic age. So we will discuss all of these ages, the historical of the names of the ages in this video, and after that we will inshallah we will do a series on each of the age separate. So let us have a critical survey of the background and the development of English literature from the earliest to the present one. So the first age is called the Anglo-Saxon period. It is also called the Old English period. And after that, the Anglo-Norman period or the Middle English period arrived. In Middle English, we have the age of Chaucer as well. This also includes in the Middle English. Then came the Renaissance. Renaissance is the golden age of English literature, okay? And in Renaissance, we have the Elizabethan period, and the Puritan age is also called the age of Milton. In Puritan age, we have three ages. Age of Donne is also in Puritan age, which is also called the Jacobean age. And the Caroline age, it is also in the Renaissance period. So after that, the Restoration age began. Then began the Neoclassical age. In Neoclassical age, we have actually the three ages: age of Dryden, age of Pope, also called the Augustan age or age of reason, the age of Johnson's. This is also included in the Neoclassical. After the Neoclassical, the Romantic age started. After Romantic age, we have the Victorian age in English, and in Victorian age, it is divided into two parts: the early Victorian and the later Victorian. And after that, the Modern age started, and the postmodern, then the post-colonial colonialism, the post-colonial literature. So these are the ages of English history, but I may suggest here that these ages, this is not essential to keep them in mind in order to follow the growth of English literature. But we need to know actually the salient features and characteristics during each and every period and their development, so that we may have a clear-cut view of the prominent figures of that age and also the work that were produced in it. So thank you.